Welcome to part two of Expansion and Empire, and now we're going to talk about the American sense of mission. When we look at the rationale for America's expansion across the continent and the building of the Continental Empire, we have to begin by taking a look at the American sense of mission. It is the primary rationale. Everything else is really secondary in comparison. Right? Continental growth was part of America's mission, part of God's plan for the United States, that God had chosen us to spread across the continent. And so therefore, Americans were obligated to acquire a great continental empire that would strengthen the nation by providing for its security, but also would spread the nation's free institutions to the other people, whether they liked it or not. This American sense of mission can be traced back to our Puritan foundings in New England, right? When John Winthrop arrived with his 1,000 colonists to establish his colony there at Boston, the Massachusetts Bay Colony, he had said on the ship the Arabelle as they were traveling over in 1630. In a sermon called A Model of Christian Charity, he said, "For we must consider that we shall be as a city upon the hill. The eyes of all the people are upon us, so that if we shall deal falsely with our God in this work we have undertaken, and so cause him to withdraw his present help from us, we shall be made a story and a byword through the world." Right here you already see it. We are a city upon a hill. The eyes of the world are upon us, right? And we are doing God's work. These kind of values permeate and become a component of American society itself. So we see it in the other writings that follow throughout American history. Like, for example, Thomas Paine, when he wrote Common Sense, which was his argument for the United States declaring independence, he stated that the cause of America is in great measure the cause of all mankind. All mankind. That's that American sense of mission, that American sense of exceptionalism. Thomas Jefferson takes it one step further when he writes his Notes on the State of Virginia, the only book that he actually wrote. Thomas Jefferson was talking about the Virginia farmer when he said that those who labor in the earth are the chosen people of God. If ever he had chosen a people whose breast he has made his particular deposit for substantial and genuine virtue, right? He's talking about Americans, right? He's talking about from the agrarian perspective, but it's still that American sense of exceptionalism and that American sense of mission. And finally, we get to the son of John Adams, John Quincy Adams, who, while sitting as Secretary of State, had become so disturbed about the failure to bring Missouri as a state that he wrote this, which basically coined the phrase manifest destiny before we coined the phrase manifest destiny. He says, "The world shall be familiarized with the idea of considering the continent of North America to be our proper dominion. From the time we became an independent people, it was as much a law of nature that this should become our pretension as the Mississippi should flow to the sea." There he says it, right? This continent is destined to be part of the United States, just like it's destiny that the Mississippi itself is going to flow into the Gulf of Mexico.